Right. Today, guys, we're going to be filming another video of Duel Commander pet decks, super pimps. I already did Animar because Animar deck is going to, fly away, and it's going to be on my friends. Also, hello, boop. And today we're going to be changing worlds, and we're going to speak about that guy here. We're gonna speak about Arcum Dagsson. Arcum Dagsson comes from another era of Ice Age, which is actually the third set completing the Ice Age block in the Cold Snap. This used to be somewhere competitive and fun, but it's just with the current things of affair, 2-2 for 4. Even though it's busted, it's just out of the business. It's not working anymore, but it's fine. Still got this as a pet deck with a lot of pimping, so it's pros and chat. So of course, getting this in Japanese for all is the basics. Never seen any particular reprint with the set. I'm gonna push the card on the side and show them one by one. I'm not gonna blind you, Chin. What are you? Come on. So it just shares some cool stuff. The purpose of the deck is just to play with whatever you want to call it, stacks, prison things ish, and a couple different combos that you can take advantage of using blue and artifacts to just win the game. Lots of things are very common and very famous, so you're gonna go through. I could replace this with Japanese 7th edition foil, but actually Chinese is much rarer, and I was lucky enough to get this when I could find one, and it was a really beautiful finding. I was always happy about this static orb. So you see this is part of the stacks plan, and of course the mandatory remand in Russian foil, because why not? This is just what you need to do. Funny thing enough, when Inventors Fair was out, I really struggled to find this guy. So I found this guy is in Chinese because I couldn't find anything else. Then I found it out in Japanese, and finally I got it straight to Korean foil, which was in Korean foil promotional, which is already insane to get, but it's fine. So got the infamous Word of Invention. Same thing for this card. I could not get it in Asian foil first try. I swear I had to wait for so long to get it. By the way, the sleeves are not Ultra Pro. These are KMC, I think. They are slightly matte. They're not really shiny. So anytime like this, there is some, foiling and light going into this. It's even tricking the camera, the smartphone right now. So yeah. Freshly gotten this version of Tezzeret. I also got the other amazing extended art, but hard to choose. That I think this one is just crazy good. So yeah, this is something I need to find in Russian foil. I think I got a track on this, and it's on its way. So same thing for Emery. I got Emery in Russian foil, of course not extended because these only exist in Japanese, English, and Chinese. But I don't know, I just thought the extended art is always better. That's one of my rule of thumb. If there's an extended art version, I'm more than willing to keep the extended art rather than the rarest version. So this doesn't exist in foil. So actually you can see the drawing more like brightly on this one because it's not foil. And still works. I have Urza in Russian foil, first edition, but I just believe the extended art is just good. Fun fact, I did not buy this one. I opened it. If you see the channels on my video on my channel, you will see what box I opened this. So this is a blue deck with one card that is caring of snow mana, so unfortunately you have to include not just basic island but snow basics. So there are 24, 5 something snow basics into that deck. This is just funny. This is just like absolutely stupidly weird and cheap. The foiling just you got clouds in the back. I think you can see them on the camera, but this is extremely shiny foil, And I don't know. I'm still playing this card. I still love it. It looks like if you just draw 1 or 2 cards out of it, it's cool. There's a second counter spell in that deck. Same thing. I've got this in Japanese, then Russian, then Korean. It was just quite hard to find, and yeah. I've got Solaya West in Time Spiral Remastered. I'm still waiting to find Time Spiral, the original one. I've got Japanese version of the original one, but I think I found it once. The seller said, "Oh, I'm sorry, it just disappeared. I don't have it anymore." So, all right, back to searching. This was quite an easy thing to find. It is a pretty straightforward thing. This deck basically plays anything that generates 2 mana to play artifacts, or just 1 mana that is an artifact actually. So Mycosynth Lattice was explosive at a point in price, so I got this for really not that much money, but that was the moment where this card was about 600 euros, and then it was reprinted, so thankfully it was just back. That's a great question. Which edition of Storage Matrix should I play? And I thought it was between very old edition. I believe this one is from Urza's Legacy, I think, in Japanese foil, or 9th edition Black Border Russian foil. And guess what I chose? I got both, but this one's good, yeah. Was pretty happy to see Lightning Grace being printed with, extended art for an uncommon that just became rare. It's fine. So again, I'm gonna pass on the lots and lots and lots of snow foil lands. This was a very interesting finding. I had this in Chinese and Japanese, and I ended up finally deciding to sell the English and Japanese and Chinese versions I have and keep the Japanese one only. But Mixstone is, I think, some card that is really going to be very efficient in the years to come. I still believe the power of this card is just great. This could be serialized. I have found a couple serialized cards of this version, but I don't think it's worth it. I just think the schematics version like that in Japanese is already a lot. Maybe this will be upgraded. Guess what? Shield Sphere has never ever seen any reprints. So this is the only version that exists right now. And if you look, it's got a -0, -1 counter. This is, I think, one of the 1 or 2 Magic cards in history that has this counter. That's just funny. So yeah, this one, fun thing, this one has been in the deck for 15 years. Yeah, that was my first deck when I started building Duel Commander 15 years ago. So this card has been here since start. It hasn't moved. This card has been in my deck, in my lists, in my possession for 15 years. Which is not the case for this Darksteel Citadel that I just upgraded from something, I think Russian foil recently reprinted. So this pixel art secret lair is actually good. So you'll see we got also the Seed of a Synod in this deck, and it's pretty good. So yeah. Of course, I know you're bored. I know you hate this card. Guess what? I hate it so much that I waited for 14 years to finally decide to include it in the deck. Guess what? It works. So I'm using it. I'm using it, and Paradox Engine just does the job. The good old Silver Mirror from Mirrodin Blocks is just a call to the past. This was quite easy to find. This one was also surprisingly easy to find because it's not really that good. I was playing Null Road when I started playing this game, and I won games with Null Road. You just look at the battlefield. You've got Mycosynth Lattice, you play Null Road, and nobody can play anything anymore. Like, you can just not tap mana and anything. That's just good. But you see, this is an asymmetrical Null Road. That's what the first line says here. And the rest of the abilities just don't really do anything. You just don't do a lot with that. So then we got more Russian foil Snow Cold Island from Modern Horizons. I do actually believe the island is not really giving much respect, because this art is okay, Titus, but I don't know. Is it a little phallic? I don't know, but I think all the snow covered lands from Unknown Horizons are just great, but the first version of this island is not great. So yeah, this was for a long time in English, and finally I found a good version of. I think this one comes from Hararia. You can see the sleeves are in good state and brand new because you can see the reflection on my fingers on it. So that was a very insane finding, and I still believe Tengen Warrior is just still something close to competitive as long as you got it. Lots of deck are actually playing it again. I'm so happy to see it playing again. That's fine. Keep on going, guys. Mir Retriever was upgraded from newer versions to older Japanese full versions. Was actually not so easy to find because people don't really wish listing old commands and uncommons in foil. They're just a waste of time, especially in non-English languages, and I found it. This is just a deck that pays a lot of tributes to the special versions of artifacts, like the constructions. They have them. I just forgot the term. Whatever you find in Kaladesh and stuff. And Ensnaring Ridge is amazing. Absolutely amazing. This is a deck where you just empty your hand very fast, and Ensnaring Ridge means until you find a solution, I don't want to attack, and when I do attack, you will die in one shot. So, more islands. Hedron Crab, probably the weakest of all, because it just generates strictly colorless mana, costs you, and it doesn't even kill. It's just got 0 with power, which is makes it the weakest with the Millikin, I think, of this deck. So yeah. Contrary to this guy, who actually makes you lose 2 life, which is kind of healthy into it, but this is sleek foil version from it's just from Phyrexia. All will be 1, and I think you can see that on the reflections on the foiling. So you can see the symbols are moving, and it's great. It blocks. It just this is good to have blockers. So islands, more islands, and look, we've got more mana. Multi-kicker with this ever-flowing chalice. This extended art is actually gorgeous, you know. I'm happy when they did this card, that was fine. So for Dagsson Forge, we got a choice of the good old one from Alien Cycles. I mean, it's 5th down, I think. And finding Japanese foil, which I have, but I decided that same art, new edition, and Russian foil would just be great. Like, looking at 5th Dawn, Darksteel, Meridian cards in Russian foil is just a pleasure to me, so yeah. Academy Ruins from Double Masters, I think. Just look at the art. This is just amazing. This art is so cool. I mean, it's too blue. It's overly blue, but this is just so good. All right. Oh, guess what? Another ones. We got the Shackles. So, yeah. This is just why we play so many islands, and I didn't want to do that right now, but I got requested, but people would like to see it. So Blinkmoth and Inkmoth, I think we saw already the other one, the Inkmoth, so Blinkmoth, because we need artifact creatures to sacrifice to Arcum. This one looks like it's full of scratch, is actually in a good state, it's just part of the art, and that is funny, I think, if you just, yeah, so like this, you see those arts and stuff, so, yeah. I'm using mostly Skull Clamp extended art from Secret Lair because it's absolutely gorgeous, but I still have 1 copy of good old Darksteel Japanese foil Skull Clamp, which is quite hard to find actually, but it exists. Probably one of the most busted cards ever in Magic the Gathering, and probably by far the best equipment ever printed, but yeah. So this was the other one I was talking about, the Millikin, and it's still 0-1-4-2, and I think it's good to have it in Odyssey foil Japanese from the good old times. And as you can see, with the old foiling, the center of the image is not foiled that much, if not all. So that's good. It's funny. Sai is quite easy to find in Russian foil. There's nothing special to say about that. It's it's good. It works in the deck, and it's actually a very competitive commander, more than Arcum. Guess what? This one was of the hardest cards to find because everyone is actually secretly playing it in many commanders deck, and who wants to spend the time listing commons in Russian foil? So again, it took me almost 10 years to find this one in Russian foil, and now I can find it more than one copy, but it just took some time to appear. Alright, we got some pretty good rarity here. Yes, this is minimal water school age in Japanese foil. I'm just so happy that I found this little guy. It was hard to find. I paid some price for it, but it's gorgeous. It is just amazing. I don't even know if it's going to untap Arcum one day. I don't give a shit. It's just so beautiful. Mina was just a great land. One of the combo pieces too, you saw the Academic Ruins, and as you can say, if you got, how much is it? It's 10 mana for this one, then it's 2 mana plus Academic Ruins, 13. So if you got a total 13 mana that is regenerative, you can get your turn, take opponent's turn, and infinitely take control of the turn. So it's going to be hard to lose. Then our friend Khan, Mikos Inflatus is his friend, because everything's an artifact, you ping your land, and the land becomes a 0/0, state-based, goes to the graveyard, and it's just amazing. This card has survived over the ages, and it's the only full version that exists of it, so I'm pretty happy with that. It's a promotional version of Khans of the Golem from the good old era of Urza. So guess what? More islands! Islands! Okay, we still got more. Easy to find. This one is, believe it or not, actually amazing. I mean, Paladimir is, I don't know, it's just working. I wanted to cut this guy out for so many times. Like, I wanted to replace the artifact creatures with non-creature artifacts that generate mana, but this is just so cool. Winter Orb, as you can guess, Winter Orb interacts with things that say you can tap an artifact as an instant speed. So one of the best combos in the game is that you just, after patching mistakes, then repatching it, then patching it again, they decided to finally keep the as long as it is untapped. So you just tap it for some reason, like you improvise stuff at the end of an opponent's turn. Even if it counts as the spell, this is still tapped. So they're going to have to asymmetrically share and handle the resources with you. So more islands, because there are 25 or something. Are you ready? Because this is it. I've bought this guy day one. I paid it less than a couple bucks or euros when it was out. I sold the English version when it was really higher in price, and I decided to keep a near mint version of English for this one, and I also decided to upgrade it, and I'll say, you know what, I'm just going to sell the English version. It's going to be just refunding the card, and actually I kept both of them because there is so much emotion attached to that. The English version of this card, this Metal Worker from Urza, this is just a 26 years old card, and one of the first foil cards ever, the first set with foil cards. And I've had the English version since the beginning of the Duel Commander era, since 2007 or 8. I don't even know when I started buying things for Arcum Dagsson, but it was really the early state of Duel Commander. It was for sure 15 years ago. This is just so crazy. So yeah, this is one of the copies you can find in the world of a Japanese foil Metal Walker, and believe it or not, I believe this guy has already managed to generate 12 mana. Yeah, gotta love the card. It's just, this is, you know, I know it's reserve list, it's from another era, it's just, it's not gone, it's still here, but I do appreciate the good old times of these things. Third cast, I could upgrade this to the original Japanese foil. I haven't found it yet, or didn't find the time to upgrade it. I might, do this and upgrade this to Japanese foil. It's not really that expensive. So more islands. First for knowledge. I know there are different versions of this card, but you know how men are. As long as there's a woman on the yacht, it's gone. But this one is just so gorgeous. I haven't found a replacement for that, but I can tell you, if you print this art extended in Japanese, I don't care about the price. I'm gonna go full speed ahead on this. And of course, it wears the good old Friday Night Magic logo. So, do you remember when Friday Night Magic used to have really interesting cards like this one? So good. All right. No, I do not have Mercadian Masks Japanese foil because the price is now above a couple $1,000, and I was too lazy to buy it when it was a couple hundred. So now it's gone. And actually, you know what? There's another thing that comes to my mind. Of course, Mercadian Mask foil would be just amazing and little show off, but truly, I just despise the original art of Richard and Port. I think it comes from another era for sure. You can appreciate the art and stuff. Looks more original and hand painted and stuff, but it's not that I'm really fond of this art, but to me, this art still is better than the original one, even though the frame could be retro frame. Retro frame plus the new art would be good. But the old art is just, it looks weird, then it looks actually cool, then it actually looks weird again. So I just think I will keep this version. Like I said, Seed of Synod from Secret Lair, just go get it. These versions are amazing. All of them. Trio of Tales, etc. It's just, they are just so gorgeous. I love this, guys. Sorry, smartphone, you're trying to focus, I know. I can get this in Russian foil. I'm not sure, I'm not decided yet about which version of Counterspell should it be. I'm actually going to take the Secret Lair version of this, I think, in the future. So this might not remain this still brilliant and amazing version of Counterspell. I still have my top 3 arts for Counterspell, so guess what? We got this. Recently printed Winter Moon. That's just so great. This card is just, it's exactly what Arcum deck and Stacks deck wanted. This works in every deck that is monocolored and highly intensive on basic lands. It's just too much. Nothing else to say. Well, now you want some challenge, so here's some challenge. Yes, this is a Korean foil schematics version from Modern Horizons 2 of Urza's Saga. So this was findable because yes, it is foil as you can see, but the foiling is not really intense on this version of the cards. I'm trying to get it. You'll see that, you see on the left, you can see slightly foil, but it's not really expressively intense. On this version of the card, Urza's Saga is not really amazingly foil. Like what I could do is just unsleeve it so you would see it, but yeah, you can see when I do this, maybe when I get the foiling here, right here you can see that it's foil. It's completely, I mean, the thing that is tricking your eye is that there is no special foiling thing on this. It's just lazy foil. It's one sheet of foiling from top to bottom. I got contacts in Incheon next to Seoul, in the subquarters of Seoul, and that's how I usually get my card. There's something on here, I don't know. And yeah, that is something one of the most proud of. But it's not the best piece in this art. This is great. It is really impossible to find, but I got better in the deck. So the good new version of Spring Left Ram could be old version of Russian foil Spring Left Ram, but this new art is actually, I mean, it's something, you know. It's just I don't know. I like it. I like it from the reprints that was from 2022. This was just a good surprise. So this is a Korean foil promotional version of Mindstone, and I didn't even know this existed. My contact / friend, whatever, in Korea just used this to protect other cards, and I was like, what is this card? is it a Mindstone? And I was like, geez, this art is good. So 100 different versions of Mindstone. I think my sleeve is just curling for some reason, but yeah, there are so many versions of Mindstone, and I still actually enjoy this guy. I'm not fond of this, like this is absolutely good, and not. I just like it. There are other versions. I have other different versions of this card, but I think this promotional version is actually fine. So you got more islands, as you know, and here we are. We got some cheap, and this was from Neon Dynasty, like 2022. Yes, 2022. It's written here. Just don't be a dumbass. Just read the card. And yeah, I like this one. Blocks. Does a lot of things. Even though to me that is really the maximum I can tolerate for regular sets to be away from medieval fantastic. This is one of the cards from Neon Dynasty that really looks like a circuit. This is really too cyberpunk for me. But the art is still like spiritual, like I don't know, it's just still, there's still some magic on the side. So I'm still validating this one, even though this is borderline. Oh, guess what? We're playing more islands, so you'll see that. This one is pimping. I don't remember how this one is called, but I just freshly included the card in the deck, and I haven't tested the deck ever since yet. I mean, this looks like it's a cool card. I like what it does. Also blocks a lot, and I like it. You get extra draws of things whenever you get an artifact, and if you can, there are a couple of ways in this deck to get an artifact to enter during an opponent's turn, and that even works twice per turn cycle, which is fine. Beautiful, absolutely insanely gorgeous Master Transmuter. If you don't read Russian yet, Master Transmuter. I don't know. And that's not at all what it says. I can read this, but I'm gonna need 10 minutes to read this because I always mistake the different letters from the Cyrillic alphabet. So there we are, and this Master Transmuter is absolutely insane. I got it straight when it was out. That's the era when I started pimping in non-English foil, non-European foil, I mean, and that was one of my first finds, and I just actually love it. This came from a long time ago. Bought this on eBay, and for some reason, I think the guy contacted me like, you have a weird version of the card. I might have sold you the wrong version of the card. I was like, just I got this. I already evaluated you positively, and the guy said, all right, then my other buyer is probably trying to scam me. So don't know why it ended, but yeah, I remember buying this, and it was just great. It's so beautiful, it's gorgeous, and it was one of the first cards that got no background here because they were colorless, devoid or colorless. That happened to Ghost Fire from Time Spiral, I think too, but there was no art behind. So this all its dust is just amazing, and the art is just not from this world too. So how about cloning? How about a Phyrexian Metamorph? I actually took some time to realize this was the hand and the fists. Just don't judge me. It took some time for me to realize what this was about. So yeah, this is kind of gorgeous. So this is the reason why we're playing snow, right? Yeah, this is just a land, a Frostwalk Bastion that just transforms into a 2/3 artifact that's just doing nothing else than being a target for Arcum. So yeah, just think about it. If I remove this guy from the deck, I don't need to play snow anymore. But yeah, here we are. So hard to find, but still findable. Russian version of Retro Frame from Modern Horizons 2 of the only Potter of Paradise, and it still rocks. I mean, I like this guy. So here comes the story. Regarding the City of Traitors, I had this in English version perfect state. I'm certain, completely certain, I'm lending this to one of my friends, someone I trust, who needs this because it's really expensive for a tournament. It is just in February 2020. And then comes COVID. Lose track, lose friends, don't know, it's just going nuts. I'm not keeping track of who has the card. Like, they just needed this card in particular. And I still trust this guy probably today. I don't know who did that, but they never got the card back to me. And I didn't note who it was because it was just supposed to be for a weekend. And then we got confinement, isolation at home. So it just went out of my mind and I never reclaimed it. I have no idea to this day if that person is still in the world, still has the English version, sold it, thought it was theirs. I don't know. I don't know if that was a friend that misintentionally kept it or if it was someone willing to steal it from me. I know it's someone I trusted, and people come and go, so I had to buy this again, thanks to one of my best friends, Mars. So he gave it back to me, and I had no choice. So yeah, all right, enjoy this, because this is a one piece of history. This is an alternate version from the game day versions things you can find of Arcum in Court 2021 in Korean boosters only. This is one of a kind. It took me a lot of time to find this. I actually found it accidentally thanks to my contact at Seoul. And they said, you know what? I got this one. Do you want it? I'm like, what the hell, bro? I didn't even know that existed. And I looked at it and I was like, are you for real? Korean foil version of just... There are 3 different versions of Arcum for Money 21. This is when this Wizard of the Coast starting to go nuts and fabricate a lot of different versions of the card. And I mean, look at this guy. I mean, the sleeve is actually a little bent because I think there's a problem with this sleeve. So I can bend it a little so you guys can see it better, but this is just absolutely amazing. Look at this art. I think I can get it closer on the camera, but this is just something you don't see every day, and so far I believe I haven't seen any other copy in the world, so maybe some people have it, but yeah, still one of the happiest findings in this moment. I have gemstone caverns in the regular old versions, but truly, first, this is extended art. Second, look at this art. It's just amazing. And third, it's Japanese, so yeah, I had to keep it. Russian Spellskite, because why not? Russian Spellskite. I still think it's the burst version of Spellskite you can get, and this art is still completely bonkers. Just what the hell, bro? What is happening here? Like, this guy is absorbing everything. Like, I don't know. That's gorgeous. So we got some mirror. This is the only thing that creates poison counters in this deck, but you don't give a shit. So it's just a mana generator. Speaking of mana generators, one of the only mana generators that can be a creature, but are not necessarily a creature. We got lots of these, but not that many with all these abilities at once. The Guardian is still one of the staples that I played the first time I've built Arcum 15 years ago, and this is still in the deck. I had this in English foil first. Recently I'm going to English to Japanese, and yeah. Oh, did I say that we are playing islands and more islands, actually. So, new kill, Rise and Shine. Rise and Shine is what I was counting on Tezzeret to do for killing, and this does the same for just 6 mana straight away. Beware is that it only works with non-creature artifacts, but you just keep the counters on them and stuff, so it's pretty good. It's a one-shot kill that really makes you win the game, and it actually works. It does. That's a good kill. This fits perfectly in the game and creates a new way of winning with everything. Be careful though, if you have microsynthitis, even your islands will attack. That's great, because it just resolves at the same time. Metallic Rebuke, same thing, easy to find in Japanese and for some reason really hard to find in Korean or Russian, so I had to wait a little, finally found it, but it was, I think it was 3 years after it was out, like this was out in 2017, yeah, it was 2020 or 2021 that I first found it finally in Russian foil. So I believe none of the people watching this know what this guy does if you're not a Navi player. This is just another mana generator that, if you can see, his magnifier is foiled specially here. I think you can see it. A magnifier is foiled with different orientation, was fine. So this guy has no text here and just does 2 mana for artifacts, only and abilities, I think. So you gotta use this. That's what people think. What the deck does. Like this mannequin does the same here. I've got the old version that doesn't exist in foil. So same here. If you pay attention, the jewel, the leash and stuff, the string here of building him is just and his jewel here are foiled differently, as well as the back here on the left. So it's pretty fun to watch this guy. Look at the score, just different art. So here we are. All right, some very hard to find stuff too. Great architects from Mirrodin. For some reason, they got the stamps of Phyrexian versus Mirrans, I think I remember. And this is still great to this day. This has some power, lots of complex tests. Remembering what it does in Russian is a challenge for me, so I like having this kind of challenge. And of course, look at this stamp here, this filigree something here, just yeah. And the guy has some crown in the back that is foiled differently. If I can have this on, yeah, you do this on focus and having on the back. So, oh, islands, yeah, because still islands. So the classic, the good old Mishra's Factory. So much of an emblematic card of Magic the Gathering. And guess what? Despite the multi-vault, the multiple lands that become creatures, the colored ones and stuff, this still does the job. I mean, that's great. Not that you'll be using the final ability on this one, maybe for blocking, but this is just great. And this extended version from Modern Horizons 2 just did the job for me. I was like, all right, this is going to replace the Judge version that I had, which was already a banger. But look at this guy here. Look at the foiling around it, the foiling of the back. As you can see, the glass, everything is foiled differently. It's so great. The core of the combination things that makes you win, from Commander whatever remastered. No, what was it? I don't know. I think it's Commander remastered. No. So this is from the COVID era. This was pretty good, and this is a Navy Neural Disc. If you don't know what this is a tribute to Larry Nevin. So it's Larry Nevin spelled backwards, letter by letter. So this is a powerful artifact, and this is one of the base combo on the decks. When you don't know how to play the deck, you're just going to find this guy all the time. So first thing is, it enters the battlefield tapped. That's what this line says, so you're just going to have tapped. Then if you can still have Arcum on the ground and this is still alive, you can get some Dark Steel Forge, and then you will just destroy everything but what you keep. And if you got the Mycosine Flatis at the same time, which Arcum helps you finding in this deck, well, you just got to destroy everything every turn, but not your permanent. So you just do it once and you win the game. Oh, there's an island. So we've got this. Fun story about that. I ordered it online, and I just recently learned about bending cards so you can check that they're real. And I was checking this one, and it just slightly got damaged on the left here with a little bent marks, and I was like, dude, this card is bending a little. And the seller was like, are you doing it with foil? Just, are you fucking serious? Don't do this with foil cards. This only works with non-foils. And I was like, oh yeah, I remember now. So, fun fact, I didn't bend this card completely. I just bend it a little here, like just like that. And I was thinking about, I mean, a little more than this, because you can bend your foils like this is not a problem. But if you go face to face, like the top and bottom stick to each other, that's too much for a foil. You can do it with ritual cards like this, and you can have the two parts of the cards bent. You can unfold it, and only the sleeves might be damaged, the rest will not be damaged. This card is exclusively unperceived, and you can see it's not damaged at all. This is really resisting. Magic cards, even the first one, extremely solid. So this is also a way to check that they're authentic. This is a transmute artifact. This is the most modal card in the history of Magic the Gathering, and this is fun. This is fun. I told Frank Carsten, which is the best statistician of Magic Gathering and theoretical person, he said, we just printed recently the most modal card with the most choices, and I said, nope, this is the most we can. This has 5 different paths you can take. Everything, don't read this text, it's bullcrap, but everything in Transmute Artifact is a choice. So it's you may or not, you may find or not. If you don't, don't. If you do, do. And this has so many possibilities when it resolves. It's just amazing. So yeah. And just to finish with a little note, because we got 3 more cards to go. This is how is it, Velucan Engineer or something like that? I just failed to remember. No, it's not Velucan Engineer. It's I don't even remember. This is an engineer of some kind. I mean, how can I show you how beautifully foiled in this one? Yeah, this gives improvise to your spell, and it's this is great. I really love this guy. Oh no, improvise convoke. This is just an amazing piece of cards. They did it only for a few cards. This is Magic 15 promotional cards from 2014. Do you remember how few cards were printed with full art, with transparent background, if no text, textless, in 2014? Only the Champs version and stuff, that was just great. So there's one last silent, and we'll finish on this beautiful guy that I loved to brew deck in standard when it was out in 2012, I think. Yeah, because it's one out in 2010, so it was legal for 2 years. In 2012, I was building with Sun Titans and other artifacts and stuff like that. And Vehicle Surtark was just so cool. This is just a great way of, you know, finishing the stack stuff with your deck. And this is one of the very rare cards in the modern era that has target land, because if this was printed in 2024, it would be like 1-2 or something, and it would say target creature, artifact, enchantment, whatever, but it would not target a land. It does. So let's just wrap it with, you know, the Angry Chandra. Beep boop again, and we've got this mono blue deck that I've been having for 10 years. This was the second deck I've built when I was starting to play Duel Commander. The first one was Niv Mizzet, the Firemind, and so far to this day, this remains my pet card from the origin. And when I want to test new decks, I'm using this one as an opposing deck because it's actually kind of hard to interact with. You know, artifacts are more easy to interact with than the enchantments and stuff, but this is still something. I still like this deck, and of course I didn't show you, but Arcum, where it is in this top loader, is in perfect conditions too, and that was hard to find. I found Zur and Arcum from Cold Snap, and those cards are absolutely gorgeous. I think you can see the foiling of Arcum here. It's crazy. This little old guy here is like, yeah, I'm just, you know what, I got stats and stuff, and I'm going to animate something larger. So unfortunately, what Arcum does is that it needs a creature, and it searches for something that is not a creature. So this is kind of limited in what you do, fortunately, but It's one of the best tutoring cards in blue, and to this day, I still like it. Alright guys, that's a wrap up. I hope you enjoyed the ride and the stories. Keep playing Duel Commander, keep doing amazing things. I'll see you up ahead with probably more video posted. See you!